Welcome to eventually the Land Your Bet Sports Betting live show. Going to be getting this finally going. I'm not even going to tell you how everything crashed on me last second right as we're getting in because nobody cares. We got bets to look at. So I'm going to send Prop on this invite right now. Didn't get the chance to even get him in here yet because of the fact that everything just stopped working all at once. We got it going now. I got all the bets that we need still here that are on the it'll be on the bottom line here in 1 second. Let me get Prop Bomb in here for 1 sec so I can make this work. Gonna hit him up with the link. We'll get it going. Mad annoying, I know. Bear with me. We got plenty of time till game time, so we'll get it going right now. All right, cool. So hopefully we'll get him in here in just a sec. We got a lot of people already in the stream, which I appreciate y'all's patience big time. We're going to get it going right now. Let me quickly just run through what we had from the other day in case you guys missed the video I put up yesterday. Quick reminder to like and subscribe to that page. Go ahead and subscribe. Most importantly, liking the video is super helpful. And we will continue to be bringing you this stuff here. Live shows each day now, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 3 hours before tip is what we're going to keep it moving with. And then I'm going to be putting out videos a day or two before as well, so we can keep those in there as well. So I don't have any of my graphics up, so I'm not even going to bother trying to show you what we have. I'm just going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to get this stuff going with you guys, and we're going to get right into it so that we can make sure we get a look at pretty much everybody here, man. A couple of the things that I was looking at from the last game was matchups. So I want to go through some of that with you guys real quick, since I don't have my graphics that I would normally have. And I'm now just all over the place. But I'm going to pull up outlier.bet. Another quick reminder there, besides the Discord, if you don't have Outlier, you can go ahead and use the link in the description of this video to get your own subscription, or at least a 7-day free trial that'll get you what you want to look at. And it'll really help out with everything, honestly. I can talk about it, and I'll show you how I'm using it. But it's been a blessing for sure. Give me one more sec. Yo, nothing is just working. Hold up, so I can pull up Outlier. So brutal. 715. I'm sure y'all are in the comments doing your own thing anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But hey, one bet that I had was Luka 30 points, 8 boards, and 3 made threes, and that got me plus money on FanDuel. If you want to put that little SGP together, I'll probably be running that back every game. I think Luka is still downgraded at questionable. Definitely help me out with some of that stuff if you guys are in the comments, so I can make sure that I'm not messing anything up that I'm talking about. Hang on 1 sec. I'm pulling up Outlier right now. All right. And I want to pull up the game as well so I can show you some of the matchup stuff that I picked up on and how that worked out from last game. Here we go. All right. Let me get up over here, add that to the stage, get rid of that. All right, cool. So I don't have my usual graphics, as you can see, but that's okay because we got full screen here. So I'm gonna be looking at this. I also want to pull up the game log from last game, so we can go over some of the matchup stuff. Gafford was the first point in the video that I just put out about how he is not meant for this series. So I'm going to start by showing you some of that and then get right into the bets that you guys want, obviously. But if we look at the box score from last game, which is what I'm in right now, it's going to be really helpful. NBA.com has done a great job of getting us what we need all within this one little spot. But if you go to matchups, one of the things I'm going to show you real quick was Jayson Tatum and who he was guarding, right? So I put Jayson Tatum on defense in the matchups, and I can see that he was guarding mostly centers, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and then a little bit of PJ Washington. So he's guarding all the bigs that they have on the other side. Keep that in mind moving forward. I put in a bet for Jayson Tatum over 9.5 boards as well. I like that. I like Luka boards. My favorite bet with both of them is the fact that you can take them both to combine for over 18.5 boards. So if you do have a DraftKings account, I'll just remind you, and I'm not logged into any of my stuff, so I'm gonna have to do this all manually. I would just remind you, if you go into the sportsbook here and we get to the NBA on DraftKings, they have head-to-head bets. Please don't make me log in. Let's look at odds. Thank you. They have head-to-head bets here for this game. So I'm going to go into the game on DK and make this a little bit bigger so it's easy to see. And then in the head-to-head bets, not only can you do head-to-head in terms of player versus player stuff, right? But when you look at, I'm going to go down to rebounds because this is the bet I made. Oh, and it jumped up. So this was at 18.5. This middle column right here in the head-to-head stuff on DraftKings is the combo of the two, right? So if Jayson Tatum and Luka Doncic combine for 20 boards, you get take the over 19.5, and you get the minus 105 there. I took it at 18.5 minus 125. I honestly still think this is good at even money, or almost even money, for them both to combine. So I like both their rebounds because both of them are doing a similar thing here where they're guarding bigs on the other floor, on the other side. And if you look at Luka's defensive matchup, it's whoever just runs into the corner, right? So he's got pretty much like an even amount of time on most people. Jaylen Brown, he spent some time on because it's a cross matchup where JB is guarding him. Then they run back on defense, and a lot of times Luka's forced to guard Jaylen Brown now. Drew Holiday's in the corner. Some Jayson Tatum hunting him on switches. Peyton Pritchard standing in the corner. Derek White standing on the corner and / like on the wing, right? And so that's who he's guarding, is whoever comes into his range. I also like the rebounds for him. Just wanted to give those bets out real quick while we still hope that Prop Bomb can make it after I messed everything up with the tech here like I was talking about. But let's go ahead and start putting some stuff in and get it going. But appreciate everybody being in here, man. I'm apologies I wasn't able to shout everybody out because I know I got the squad in here for sure. We got everybody, man. So much appreciated, y'all. And I'm going to start looking through some of the bets that you guys had. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones real quick because I don't have any of my docs up. Let me pull those up as well. I wanted to get the show going before too long, but it still was without a couple things. Let me pull up these notes that I have from my last bets and just make sure I give those to you and put them on the bottom line here right now so that those are scrolling along and you can see those. All right. Putting those up right now, and then I'm going to start putting up some of the stuff you guys have. But we're going to basically try to look at everybody. I'm going to do this relatively quickly since I wasted so much time already. Come on, man. There we go. Capitalization. Jesus. All right. Putting that in. All right. I'm about to put up the bottom line, so at least it's you guys know when you come into the stream what I bet on already. And we got PB jumping in. So let me get him in here as well while I do this stuff. And I got to apologize to PB. Now I got to apologize to everybody, man. I've been on one with this tech stuff. I lost all my graphics, lost pretty much everything. So that's a pain in the ass. But all right, I'm going to add him to the stage. What's good, fam? How you doing?
The second time we're matching.
No, we're wearing a black t-shirt. Did not plan this. I swear to God damn it. Whatever, man. We got style. What do you want to say? What's good, bro?
Yeah, nothing much. Just coming off celebrating Florida Panthers W, you know?
Hey, go Cats.
Go Cats, go Cats. But
hell yeah.
This is gonna be a fun strategy show. Coming in, I only have 2 props locked in. Normally, like I average 4 to 5, but I have a lot of leans that for every single player that we can kind of go through and just team up and collab.
Yes, sir. You want to let me know? Can you help me filibuster by letting everybody know what your first couple plays are, or at least one of them?
For sure. So the first one I have is I like to wait a couple of days. I don't like to attack the opening lines because not everyone has availability. But what I did do was I saw that the under 8.5 assists for Luka was like minus 158. I don't want to take that itself, so I wanted to do an SGP for it. So I combined it with 25 plus points. So it's Luka 25 plus points and under 8.5 assists. I don't know if you want me to explain it or just.
For sure. Yeah. So I love it, but we're both in a similar place.
Yeah.
Here,
yeah.
Like, no Luka.
I mean, just to keep it short. Yeah. For Luka, just to keep it short, 25 plus points has hit. That's the easier leg. It's hit in like 8 straight games. No worries with that. But I want to pair it with the under 8.5 assists because I think it's very correlated. I think the Maverick, Joe Mazzulla is coming in and he wants Luka to be a scorer, and he's baiting him with matchups that he should exploit this way that he's not passing it. And when he passes it and gets his teammates involved, that in turn kind of creates rhythm for the supporting cast, and he doesn't want that. So I like the under 8.5 assists. It's plus 104. Yeah. I think right now it must be like minus 120 or something, but I like that. And then the second prop I gave out was PJ Washington.
I'm going to interrupt you. I know I actually remember the second one, but let me interrupt you real quick. Do you think that there's anything to the idea that strategy around Luka and defending his teammates changes, or do you think that stays the same in terms of
not giving
up spot ups, right?
That's the scary part because on paper, the one assist is the thing that stands out the most. And everyone is talking about it in the media. Jason Kidd himself has addressed it that they need to pass more. So yes, it's definitely scary. However, the Celtics still are permitting the fewest corner threes, and they really are making an effort in limiting the alley-oops, and that's like 80% of where his assists come from. So while there may be some positive regression, maybe he gets 6 or 7, he's not I don't think that he gets 9+. I mean, so that's
no,
kind of
I don't think so either. I just wanted to see where you were at with it, but I also don't think that they change what they've been doing, honestly, like at all, because obviously it worked last game. I think it's not even really the 1 assist for Luka. It's just as much the fact that like Kyrie didn't score. I think that's a big part of it, is that this is going to come down to ISO ball, and that we should be definitely a little bit talking a lot more anyway about how Kyrie did not score, more so than how like Luka had 6 potential assists and 1 actual dime, right? Like, I do think that's a deal. I don't want to like completely just poo-poo that. But come on, man. Like,
trust me. That is definitely a concern, that Dallas definitely wants to work around the ball and get other players involved. So, no, I'm glad that you bring that up. Look, not all the time you have to agree with me. That's the beauty of this,
No, and I
welcome it. I welcome it. I think it's healthy to have like a debate, because this way the viewers can see like the pros and cons, right?
Totally. That's what we're doing. Yeah. I'm certainly not worried about hurting anyone's feelings here, because like we say all the time, like it's about finding the right bet. You can hurt my feelings if my wallet gets increased with gets a little fatter, right? Like that's the whole point of it. So let me then we have a couple things. I wanted to mention I also took a Gafford under on his PRA. Can I transition us to that before I do get your official other pick?
Go ahead.
I know we were talking about that earlier this morning. Have you had a chance to chew on that at all, on Gafford?
It moved to 12.5 everywhere, so I can't make that official.
Did it really?
Yeah. Wait, maybe.
Wow. I was busy dealing with my whole entire computer setup blowing up on my face to be able to look at that. But
Gafford,
okay, because I got that at 13.5. For sure.
Yeah, you can't find that anywhere now. Every single book has it at 12.5. I love it. Remember we were kind of talking about that. We were looking at the graphs, and I was like, I kind of lean the under 15.5 PRA.
Yeah.
And sell me on it. I mean, I like it.
I don't know where it's at with 12.5 anymore. I think it's just about the minutes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day for Gafford now, it's not the same thing, but when he played for the Wizards, it was actually a similar concept here. Now, it's not the same concept, but even on the Wizards, this dude couldn't really get in the game or stay in the game when they would play Boston. He just gets run off the floor by the fact that he's gonna have to guard a 3-point shooter. Yeah, Lively is so much. I mean, dude, Lively had 5 fouls in the third quarter alone, and they still didn't put Daniel Gafford in. They still put him in.
That's pretty telling. Yeah.
They left him in there the whole time. Like, well, this is what we got. And if he fouls out, then we'll deal with the repercussions. But like, if they're not willing to put him in, Maxi Kleber, 18 minutes, stole, at least 8 of his minutes. Like, he was at 14. He didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. His minutes went from 9 minutes in the first half to 4 minutes in the second half. And that was all in the third quarter. Again, Lively had to come out. Like it was just all bad for Gafford. I don't think they're going to continue putting him in the game. So that was an easy one for me. One more lean I wanted to bring you into, and I'm going to keep the up next stuff going, guys. So I will go through some more of these comments here in a second. But
for sure.
For Peyton Pritchard, I actually now wanted to go over because it got down to 3.5 points. And he was 0 for 7 last game, and I kind of feel like we stole one on the Pritchard under from last game. Do you still feel like that's a play for Pritchard? Or
well, here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing with Pritchard was that he went 0 for 7, but one of them was like a heave. Other one was like, I would say half those shots were pretty poor quality, to be honest with you. But at the same note, remember, like both the logic you and I had going into game one with Pritchard was that he's going to lose playing time because they don't want to see that switch onto Luka where he'll exploit. But what I'm seeing kind of going in is that the Celtics actually want that to happen because it makes him a scorer. They're inviting that mismatch and just keeping it being a single coverage. So that may actually secure his minutes. But he's still, I think, the 8th or 9th man on the court. But 3.5 is only 2 shots.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So do you think his minutes are like, it was 3.5 points. I think it got juiced all the way down. I'm going to pull it up again real quick here as I don't have any of my stuff saved because, like I said, everything crashed. But let me go to just points on Outlier here and pull up Peyton P. I'm not sure if we can still get the number. 3.5 minus 140. You can get over actually on FanDuel. Okay. Yeah. So it's plus 114 on FanDuel. Like, I mean, have we gone too far the other way? I understand some of those
Plus
shots.
one. Wait. I just lost you. What was it? Plus 114.
Oh, plus 114. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, for
Yeah.
under. Yeah.
No, this is the under. Oh god, I hate when I do that.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So the over was juiced down like I thought earlier, minus 140.
Fine. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I think like hit rate wise will tell you it's a good play.
Yeah.
I just see he probably plays what, like 10 to 14 minutes, you know?
Well, so that's the other thing. He played 15 and a half in this game, right? In the fourth quarter, I think he played a lot, right? He played 10 minutes in the fourth.
Let me see. Let's see. I'm using popcorn machine. When the Celtics starters.
It was normal. It was normal rotation in the first, but it was still a lack of minutes. Hold on, let me pull up the right game.
Yeah. So look. So Pritchard, I'm just seeing right now. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah.
Pritchard played 10 of the 12 fourth quarter minutes. Now, if this is a closer game, maybe that's looking like 4 fourth quarter minutes instead of 10. So maybe he loses like that. You see that like last bit in the end? He probably loses. Honestly.
Real quick, I would argue though that like he doesn't play any minutes. That's the other thing.
In the fourth?
Yeah. If you look at him in the fourth quarter of his last 2 games, he didn't play at all, and that was the 2 games against the Pacers that they actually needed to win, and they were close in the.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blowout. Like game script wise, like, and honestly, like he should have went over last game. Just like he was 0 for 7. Like what you said, we got lucky.
Yeah.
So
and now
going
back to it.
I think it's fair. Like, sure, I think it's hittable, but it's a pass for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good call on Pritchard. Is like it's a pass for both of us for the same reason,
which
is he got a little bit lucky last game. It's a little bit volatile. Whatever. Like sometimes we get unlucky. You know what I mean? This stuff evens out. But it comes back to like if he's playing in the fourth quarter, it's a blowout. I don't have any control over that, and I'm not going to base my other bets on a blowout happening, right? So I think we had the right call that he wasn't really meant for this series quite as much. I don't think he gets in for the fourth quarter at all if this thing is an actual game down the wire, and so it's not worth it. But like 2 corner threes against one of the worst corner 3 defenses in the league, and it's a different story, you know. And he will play like 5 to 7 minutes in the first half. It's just not worth it. So we'll move on from. I
guess you know what we could do. Honestly, this would be a good transition. How about on the other hand, Jaden Hardy, the same exact type situation with him, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Jaden Hardy.
Do you think Jaden Hardy? It's a little different, right? Than Peyton P, but it's still similar in that do you think he needs to play blowout minutes? Let me start there with Jaden Hardy.
Hardy, you automatically lose if it's a blowout because he was a monster in the garbage time. He had 13 of his 15 points all in garbage time.
Right.
If that never happened, he would have finished the game with 2 points.
Right.
So like if you're just following the box score, you're going to think that Hardy, that 4.5 point line is way too low, but I kind of lean the under, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you can get 3.5 actually.
Oh, I'd go 4.5 than 3.5.
Yeah, I think they bumped it, right? Or they bumped it down.
Oh, no way. Really?
Maybe some people were taking unders. Yeah.
Let me see.
That's looking like the best line. I'm going to pull up Props Madness real quick too.
Yeah, it's 3.5. Oh shit. Damn. Maybe the PR could be, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not playable anymore. I wouldn't do that 3.5. It was 4.5.
Not under. But do you think that there's a place for him on the floor during non-garbage time or no?
Well, the thing with him, the way I see Jaden Hardy was that the first half, he played like the last 4 minutes of the first quarter because Kyrie sat. But then in the second half, normally like in the last series, he would check in for Kyrie in the third quarter, but he didn't. Like you'll see his minutes.
Right here.
He didn't check in until like garbage time. He may not even have played in the second half. I think he's good. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Right here, though, let's say they weren't in the middle of making that comeback in the third quarter.
Well, Kyrie sat out, right? Didn't Kyrie checked out or let's see. Kyrie and Luka.
No, not here, not in this third quarter. Yeah. This is where they kept Kyrie in and blew past the Hardy minutes because they were in the midst of the comeback. So that's a tough one to project because if they're in normal rotation because it's like a 2-point game or they have the lead, then does Hardy just get in the third quarter?
Maybe he'll play 2 or 3 minutes, but he played. How many minutes did he play this last game? 10, right? Is that what it's saying?
In the last game overall.
Yeah.
In this game right here, Actually, I'll go to props.
Honestly, I think he plays.
Yeah.
I think he plays
Like
somewhere around the range of like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
5
Like
to 10
6 to 8
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's not garbage time and he's just limited to like a catch and shoot guy, and the Celtics are taking those away, I was leaving the under 4.5, but 3.5, it's also a stay away.
Yeah. Forget it. Yeah, I'm with you, and it is a seamless segue from Peyton Pritchard, but it's gonna be a no. Let me let you give out your other one, and we'll let that take us to the next home.
Sure. Yeah. So I think this is a great one. Yeah, this one was great because he had a floor game and still went over it, and that's what he's pulling up right now. PJ Washington, I got it at over 11.5 at -130. I would still lean 12.5. I think so as well. Look, he's got that both games he's played the Celtics as a Maverick, 14 last game, and efficiently too. Like he didn't make a 3-pointer, and he still got that 14 points, which to me is a good sign that's just that was a floor game.
Yeah.
You look at if you scroll a little bit down for him, 37% of his shots were spot up. Like that's just overall. But what was interesting last game, that was like a minor play type. Like his major play type was like transition and post ups, which shows his aggressiveness. The Mavericks need him to step up as a number 3 option. Yeah. Not only because it like frees up, a little bit of pressure on Luka and Kyrie, but if they get him going, it makes the Celtics players kind of work on defense, and maybe that opens up assists for Luka. But other than that, I think 11.5 points is good. I think throughout the series, it's probably going to end up being 13.5 or 12.5.
Yeah. If he has a spike game, it's obviously going to go up even more. Probably for the team. But I would agree. I love the points for PJ because the threes are I think we're in agreement. They're going to continue to keep the potential assist down for Luka and even Kyrie to a degree, because they weren't really blitzing Kyrie either, right? And the Celtics are like, look, we don't care what everybody says about needing to blitz Luka to get the ball out of his hands. They're like, there's really not any inefficiencies in our defense. Even pop it out.
I agree with that.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what their MO has been and what they've said. So I'm going to continue to believe them. If you're a spot up shooter, though, and that's the only way you can score, you're in trouble. Yeah. But everything you said was exactly why.
He's aggressive. He's aggressive. He's taking advantage of Derek White, posting him down, attacking him. That's what you want to see, Yeah,
for sure. Yep. All right, let's see real quick, because we're in full agreement on that, and I just want everyone to know where we're at with that. I've got a couple other things here, so let's just run through it, because everybody. I mean, look, I know y'all are throwing stuff in the chat here.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So let's just get into some of it, and let's start with: do you have a lean on a side or total? I know that you are the prop bomb. I'm just wondering, is there anything that tells you it's worth it to take Mavs +7, for example?
I saw that, and the playoffs coming off of game 1 or just losses. Their first losses in the series, they cover the spread in all 5 of the games. So maybe like Mavericks +6.5. Maybe this was a feel-out game, and Jason Kidd is using his like tricks. Jaylen Brown is the best player. Trying to get in their heads.
Yeah, that was funny.
I really hope. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on a second. It was 6.5 this morning. Now it's 7.
You got some 7s, yeah.
That's interesting.
There's probably I thought there was a 7.5 out there. Let me go to action.
Little line movement going to the Celtics side. That's interesting.
Oh no, you can only get 7. Yeah, there are a little bit more bets coming in on the Celtics because it was 6.5. But I think it opened 7.5, got bet down. People probably saw it at like 6 and then bet it back.
You know what I would do actually? I think I kind of like the first half, because the second half is when they made the changes, right? Like the first half, they were just playing. I think they were playing a lot of zone coverage, and they were like giving up that extra. The Celtics were looking for that extra pass for that wide open player. Yeah, but they kind of fixed that in the third quarter. So if they kind of eliminate that first half start, maybe what's the first half spread line for the Mavericks?
First half is probably about 4. Yeah, +4. Oh yeah, I like that, and I like the quarter, honestly, just as much.
Sure, yeah.
But I think that is how I would prefer to play as well. The thing is like for these Mavs, like I think they're a better fourth quarter team too. So I'm not really afraid of them.
Yeah, well, they're better fourth quarter if the game is close, right?
If the game's close. Yeah.
If the game's close.
No question. I don't know which way I want to do that, but I think it's worth it to do something like a Luka bet with the money line, or with even just the spread and covering in that sense, because I do think it's the Mavs day. I bet I bet two things. I bet Mavs are winning 2-1 at the end of 3 games, and I
Okay.
bet that the Mavs.
What's that odds on that? Yeah, what are the odds?
That was plus 320 on FanDuel.
Fair enough.
And then the other one that I like even more was, I guess, the exact games for the first 3, which was Boston, Dallas, Dallas.
Okay.
And
so
so
I hope that works out for you. Yeah.
I hope it worked out too. That was a little $100 to make another like 650 back. So, I liked it enough to do it, but it was really just like, I think I just have to bet the Mavs money line at this point and at least on the cover for them to cover, because 7 is enough points for me to take it. But for everybody who's jumping in the comments asking about that, I mean, I'm definitely going to be on the Mavs to cover in this one, and probably sprinkle a little bit on their money line, just because that's how I've been playing it the whole time. But all right, let's move into the stars real quick before we get back to some of these role players. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, which one would you prefer to start with?
We could do Jayson Tatum. Tatum.
Okay. I see this series going a lot the way that it has already. I bet his over 9.5 rebounds. Okay. Do you have anywhere that you'd want to start with him? Because I think it's going to be a lot of the same of what we saw. It wasn't even a poor shooting game from Tatum necessarily. 6 or 16 wasn't great, but the 3 for 7 from deep was what you would hope that you can get from him. 43%. That's great. What do you do with what to do with him moving forward, basically?
This is interesting, right? So game 1, he did terrible. He had 16 points on 6 of 16 shooting, but look, I was looking into the underlying metrics, the drives, more specifically, if you want to pull that up.
Yeah.
He had 18 drives last game. Now, to like zoom that out, and he averaged 11 drives in the playoffs. So he turned up his drives a lot. And maybe that was by design, because he wanted to generate open looks, from driving to the rim and then like throwing to like a 3-pointer.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot more room for him, I think potential-wise, to do a lot better this series. I kind of lean the over on his points, 26.5.
Okay.
I also lean the over on his 6.5 first quarter points. Like you'll see, he had 18 drives, and then his pass percentage all the way to the right was 61%.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Very uncharacteristic, because like in the playoffs, that number is normally like 30%, so he almost doubled that.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. It's at
like
you said, 32%. So yeah.
So he not only is he driving more, he's also passing out more. I think going into game 2, the Mavericks may want to do what the Celtics did to them, making Tatum in ISO mode and him being the scorer. You remember how like the Heat kind of did that, like just making him go in an ISO and like blocking out the catch and shoot threes.
Yeah,
like kind of beat them with math. Like, okay, we'll give up the layup. We'll give you, we'll give up that 2-point mid-range jumper. That's fine, as long as the you don't get Derek White and Drew Holiday going.
Sure,
that's kind of like, this is what I'm seeing. So we want to, of course, it's kind of scary because it hasn't played out yet. But you got to kind of like go ahead, be ahead of the curve here.
Right.
So I like the over points. And I also, on that same note, I think it's correlated. I kind of like the under 5.5 assists, which is interesting, right? Because like he had all those potentials going into, everyone can see it going in, in game 1, but the second half was kind of telling, because that's when the Mavs made that comeback. And I think they played a lot more man heavy and switch defense, which which led him to attack more Tatum. And also like the 3-point shots weren't so high quality in the passes. That's my thoughts on Tatum.
Interesting. So your thoughts are basically everything's going to switch up.
I think they have to, they can't make the Celtics. I mean, like if you see the difference between the first half and the second half, as far as like 3-pointers made, I mean, I think they have to take those threes away.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So in the first half, let me split this up real quick in the board. So the first half, Jay Tatum goes 3 for 8. He has 3 dimes. So 3 of his 5, right? And then 6 boards, normal.
Celtics attempted 27 threes. Like that's the key stat, right?
Right, because he's kicking out too, right? Like you saw on the drive.
Yeah. So check out the second half.
So then the second half looks much different for Tatum.
They took 27. They took 15.
Wow, he went 3 for 8 once again though, and 1 for 2. But then he had 2 dimes and they went 5 for 15. So the dimes were obviously less available at that point. but you think that the potential assists now stay down a bit more because he's going to try to finish. The other reason I would agree with you, by the way, is if we see more Maxi Kleba and less Jason, Gafford, now they don't have a rim protector, and Maxi's the guy that's going to be guarding him a lot more, like we saw in that second half. That was when Maxi got a few more minutes as well, to the point that you were making. So I think that's probably a pretty good call there. Let me interrupt us because Nick was asking a good question. Do you know anything about
Luka news? Yeah, so that was reported by this guy. I believe his name is Grant. Hold on, I can look it up. I'll pull it up too. 1 second. Grant Avseth on X. He's a Dallas Mavericks beat writer. And what happened was he essentially just had an additional injury listed. It's a thoracic contusion. You know what that is?
Something in his leg.
What is that? Thoracic contusion.
I think it's his quad.
Yeah, it's like a chest contusion or bruise to the chest wall. It was just a new injury tag, but I think he'll probably be 100%. Yeah, he's European.
He's done this before. And I kind of was talking about it last time. Like he's a drama queen, man. Like he likes to do this. I'm not gonna look too much into it, I'm sure. And it's chest, back, whatever.
That's what it is. 3 days of rest, I don't think. I hope though, for my prop, I took 25 plus points. I hope it doesn't affect him.
I think you're good. I think you're good, man. I went with the thing I'm always doing now, which is 30 points for Luka, 8 boards, and 3+ threes made. Right, and the fact that I still got plus money on it, I've been hitting it for plus 150. Now it's at plus 104. Nice. I'm fine with it now. I think it's fine. I still think he's gonna be picking. So, anyway, let's see real quick. We're not really talking about the prize pick stuff. We're talking more about the sports book stuff. But I mean, if you can compare, obviously, things like Outlier, for that, you can on Outlier, and I know Props Madness has as well. They're taking into consideration the different lines, so you can see the different stuff here. So, for instance, like Jayson Tatum's assists, it's like about minus 119 is the equivalent on prize picks, but it's the same number of 5.5. So, anyway, The next one, for Tatum, I'm just on the boards. I think someone was disagreeing, which I'm totally fine with. I just wanted to see where you're saying that Tatum, So the Metro Kids one says that Tatum over 9.5 ain't the way. Took it over all year. Oh, so you took the under, but give me a little bit more.
Is he saying? I think what he's saying is that with Kristaps
if that's what you're saying, I actually want to show how incorrect that is, which is I'm happy that it's even being brought up. But if you look at, let's just start with Kristaps. Well, I'll just do it over here for a sec. So
Tatum is just near the basket. Every single possession, he's defending Gafford or Derek Lively. And because of that, Derek Lively and Gafford aren't coming up and screening for him, to get him in action.
Right. Yes, exactly. 100%. And it's crushing their offense. But it's also helping him be in position for boards. So on the season, Tatum is averaging 8.5, right? This is for every game, including the playoffs, 8.5 boards. If I do without Kristaps, that number is 8.2, which means it's more with Kristaps. So it's just not correct to think that when Kristaps is off, that he's worse or he's getting more rebounds. He's actually getting fewer. It's half a rebound. It almost means nothing, and which is clear here, right? But even in the playoffs, if we do with Kristaps, which I have up right now, he's at 10.2. If I do without Kristaps, he's at 10.5. So it's the same shit in the playoffs too. It's the same. There's really not a correlation because Kristaps and Al Horford are not quite doing that for him necessarily. So just kind of keep that in mind. But if you have a good reason for it, I'm here to talk about it. I already put it in, so I ain't gonna change it. But that's where we're at with Tatum. You're as far as the points go, I totally agree with where you're at.
I want to know, out of the three, which route would you go? So
I already bet the rebounds.
You bet the rebounds?
What was you're talking about first quarter?
Yeah, I'm saying out of what I kind of pitched to you, those are my three leans: the first quarter over, the over 26.5, and also the under 5.5 assists. Which one do you think would you would rock with?
Let me. What's the first quarter?
6.5.
First quarter points 6. Oh yeah. I think I go first quarter full points and then under on the assists. I agree with what you're saying. I think your logic explains the points going over better than it explains the assist going under, mostly because if if Gafford's not in there, then yeah, we're going to see more shots go up. But yeah, I'm not necessarily with the idea. Like I am being scared and not waiting for it to change. Like I'm seeing 14 potential assists and being like, ugh, is he going to keep doing that kind of stuff? That's the only reason. I didn't see much about it to tell me that he's not, but he had such a well-rounded game. And to be honest, like you can say Brown's better, Tatum's better, whatever. Jaylen Brown doesn't give a crap, and he has less weight on his shoulders. So just keep that in mind that like Jaylen Brown is not expected to dime up. He's not expected to he's expected to play good defense and score. And that's what he did in game 1. I think that's what he's going to continue to do in this series. I think that means Tatum is happy to sometimes play facilitator. I don't think he cares as much about being the man who gets all the points for his team. That's what I hope and what I see. But like, as far as the strategy of the defense, I think he's more likely to score in this game than dime up. So I'm in agreement with
if that pass percentage goes from 61% to maybe like 40%, those potential assists maybe would go from like 14 to like 10 or 11, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then at that point, you have to convert like 6 of those
6
10.
or 7. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So your logic of the driving is definitely a big part of it. I think that's a good point. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Before I get us into Jaylen Brown then, and I'm going to put that, I'm going to put some leans in here for you guys too real quick, just because of what we're talking about. But for Tatum, I already got the rebounds. I like this over 6.5 first quarter points, to be honest. For Tatum,
like that too,
that is a lean. That would be my favorite one of the ones you mentioned there. I want to talk about, and I'm going to have to end this thing like about 6:15, everybody, so just keep that in mind. But let's get these to a few more for sure. I kind of want to hit KP before we hit Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
So my first thought is he's not going to hit the same level of shots again.
No.
But is he still capable of 15.5 points? And I think so. And I think he's capable of more than 15 or 20 minutes in this next game. And that's kind of where I start with is like, all right, no, he's not going to do necessarily the same shit he just did. But it's the same prop where he just played 20 minutes, and I'm kind of thinking that he's going to play closer to 25, 26 at least in this game, right? Like I think they want to get him as close to 30 as they can. Now Al Horford's starting again, so does that scare us away from anything, or is it still an over for KP? I'll just say one thing about it. He hunted those switches to perfection. And when they switched on to Tatum, like whoever guarding KP is now switched on to Tatum, there's going to have to be some changes made there because KP is now was after that point was posting up guys like, Jaden Hardy and Kyrie at times, whereas who his matchup became. That can't happen again. So there's got to be some mix up. But if nothing changes, then I think KP is good for another over 15.5. And quite honestly, probably over 4.5 points in the first quarter. That's kind of where I lean, but I don't like
it. 4.5 now. I think it was 3.5 last I checked.
Mm-hmm. It was 3.5 last game. I think it moved. Let me pull it back up.
Oh, is it 4.5? Really? Wow.
No, you can still get a 3.5 though. You're right. There's a 3.5 on FanDuel, but it's juiced all the way down now if you want to go over the 3.5. I mean, look, he's a first quarter monster for a reason. Like this is the last 10 games overall. If you look at the last 20 games overall, I mean, on the season, he was basically their leading scorer, 6.9 points per game.
Yeah.
Now 3.5 is a pretty key number because of the amount of shots that he might get up, might not get up. I don't think there's going to be anybody on the floor that can deal with him. So I'm still leaning over for Kristaps. And I kind of realize that I'm leaning over for the game the more I talk about it, because if the Mavs come along for the ride at all and score any amount of points more than they did last game, and they don't go, shooting 27% from deep, both these teams have 107 probably in the fourth quarter at some point. So just another lean for me, definitely to the over. But what about Kristaps for you? Did you have a chance to look at him at all?
With Kristaps, actually, I'm leaning the under on his points.
Okay,
that's just my lean. I don't feel strong either. I don't really feel so convicted with it. But I just say that because I think that in game 1, frankly, the Mavs just weren't prepared for him. They didn't it's a whole different dynamic with him coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Normally they're used to him starting. So he's coming off the bench. Rotations are a little weird. Derek Lively, I was listening to some stuff that he was saying in his media thing. We got to make him uncomfortable in shots, kind of play him close, get rid of those mismatches. And, he scored a lot of his points on Jaden Hardy or Josh Green, who he shot over them. He also shot with 73% true shooting. So, 15.5, I think, feels fair. Will I be surprised if he goes over? No, I think he still can go over, but I think it's a stay away. I think this is a little trappy, personally.
Agreed. I have no bet for him. There's a couple of reasons, and they're not even basketball related. Like the shots that he took are very makeable shots. I think I'm still in the second half. There were some good ones in there. Like they're makeable. Now,
he was also like a tale of two halves for him. I mean, he had like 7 or 13. Oh, he had 13 in the first half and 7 in the second half.
Yeah. And it was actually a little surprising how well he came out in the second half shooting. Once again, made his first 3 and was good at that point because he was 1 for 3, I believe, in the first half. But like, yeah, if he's in there for the minutes, that's the thing that scares me. Is like I don't have a good projection on his minutes. I'm gonna pull up RotoWires actually for a second because I realized I should have done that earlier.
You could check. Don't you do establish the run or?
I don't. So I keep telling everybody I don't have my own account. I just get that info from my home. So I've just been actually asking. He just sends me it every single day, and they should be out from ETR. If you have them up and want to share them,
I don't have a membership with them.
Yeah, I haven't paid for my own either. But it looks like now that we're in the finals, they're like, nah, you gotta sign up.
Can't believe that. Yeah, they can't do a free trial.
Oh wait, no.
So what do you think? I'm thinking 27 minutes for Kristaps.
For Kristaps, I think
maybe 30. Maybe 30. Yeah,
25 is what I had him at. Yeah, I'm gonna take this off and log in so you guys can.
Someone said that this guy Jermaine over here. He says if you want to highlight his thing.
Yeah,
all the way in the bottom. Zinger. No, the last one. Yeah.
Oh, we're done. Took Zinger rebounds over 6.
The rebounds is interesting. I think it's interesting. I think this is interesting too because traditionally the centers are being baited by like Derek Lively to like attack, switch onto Luka and then have to defend Luka. Luka wants that, but what was interesting was in the third quarter, I was watching. So I could send you the link too. Like, he is saying, no, I don't want to switch. Pritchard, go switch for me. Like he's like pre-switching. So if you look in the third quarter, and what that allows him to do is stay back and still be on roaming, where he's like closer to the basket to grab rebounds, also to block shots. He's
so you're saying Zinger's not switching with his dude. He's allowing them so he can stay down low, similar to how Luka plays, where he's like, you go. I'm not switching. Just stay. Or
No, I'll send you after the show. After the show, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like he's like, no, Sam Hauser, do it for me. I don't want to go onto Luka.
Right.
And they're fine with it. Like normally any other team wouldn't be fine with it because they would have like the defenders, I guess, like down low that can kind of make up for it. But
that makes sense. So you kind of like the rebounds for KP if he plays. I
kind of like the blocks too, because if he's close by the basket and he's in a roaming type role, actually, that was kind of one of my leans. Over 1.5 blocks. I think it's plus 115. That KP. Actually, like the hit rate on that is insane.
1.5, really? Yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm in last 20 right now. And really, if you just look at, there was a stretch in here where they were just playing poo-poo competition other than the Nuggets too. And the Sixers, Mavs, interesting. And then it was more about the minutes. Let me pull it up on Props Madness because it shows you the minutes as well.
I just see like Kyrie trying to be more involved in this game. Maybe he wants to test, he wants to do a little bit more like driving, or Derek Jones Jr. Maybe he can get a block on,
Yeah. He was incredible at the rim in this last game. So there's no reason to think that. I think the minutes are going to have to go. You've got to have him projected at 26 or above for sure to keep feeling like good about the stuff you're getting from him, because that's my main point of staying away from him with everything, honestly. And we can move on because I'm definitely not going to be putting a bet down for KP. There's so much unknown that could have gone this way or that. Now, I think a lot of this 8 for 13, 2 for 4 from 3 and the shots he was making was that adrenaline of being back on the floor.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't want to have to bank on that. Yeah. So there's nothing from the strategy standpoint that makes me want to go with that and kind of get any bets on KP. So move on from that, to be honest with you. Although what about the threes? Are those still decent money for 1.5? Because that I don't hate.
Like minus 150. It's not playable for me. What is it at?
You can get minus 122 on FanDuel.
Okay, solid. Yeah, he only took 4. It's a little concerning. I was thinking maybe he would take 5 to 7.
Right.
And those were like deep threes that he made.
They were.
They did not look like they were going to go in.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough for me to get to project his minutes. That's really what it comes down to. Because I think if he was on the floor for more of the runs that they made in like the second quarter, if he was shooting a few more threes, but looks like he like, it was surprising to me how few threes he took because of how often he was pulling those bigs from the basket when they played during the regular season. Right, that was a big part of the game plan, was like pull the bigs from the basket by using your 7'3" center who can make threes from 35 feet. Right,
Yeah.
he's a freaking unicorn for a reason. And yeah, that just wasn't it. So just real quick, because I saw people bringing up Gafford in the comments too. That's a big. I already hit his under at 13.5.
Yeah, we both don't really like him
agreeing.
this series. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just ain't his series, man. He's actually averaging 9.2 minutes per game against this team in the last 4. I think he got hurt in the one that they played where he got 6 minutes, so it skews it. But the other 3, he played 13 or fewer minutes in all of them. And last game he played 14.5. So I don't think that's just like a random decision by the coach. I think it's both coaches. We're talking about Wes Unseld, or whoever the hell was coaching the Wizards when he was on there. Whoever the hell was the coach at that point for the one of the worst franchises in sports. The Wizards.
You want to talk about Papa Al?
Yeah, let's talk about
Porzingis.
Yeah, let's do that.
So this is actually close. I'm kind of like being a little patient with it. I want to wait to see if it's official that Al Horford starts, which I think is going to happen.
It seems like it, right?
I'm actually like really close of making this an official play. I like his under 6.5 rebounds.
Okay.
He was, like I said, like I just think that the Celtics are allowing him to like be baited and like to be on Luka Doncic like coverage. Like they wanted to give it to him. Like, okay, Luka, take those shots. Like, as long as you're not passing out, like go ahead and expose Al Horford, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he had 7 rebounds. 2 of those were offensive. One of those came off a missed free throw. Also 2 in the second half. The Mavs were just like, and it was a blowout. Like it was just poor quality shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they had to do whatever, you know, and the Celtics really like won the possession battle. Maybe the Mavs have I like that. I think it was only like 11 rebound chances he had. Kristaps should play more minutes. Maybe that lowers the upside for Al Horford. Right. It's minus 125, a little juicy. I think that's still okay. I like the under 6.5 though, the rebounds.
Okay.
Simply because I think he's just going to be put in action on defense a lot.
Yeah, let's see. The best number at this point is looking like minus 139. That might have been juiced.
Oh, no way. Yeah. It's minus one. Oh, that's still playable.
It got juiced again. Damn.
I was hoping that, you know, like I'm hoping that maybe like they announce that Horford starts and then like you can the lines kind of go back up and then I can like fade it.
Right. And I mean, it looks like it was at 5.5 at various points too throughout the day. And I
like that. That's cool. Is this website free or
no? Outlier, you need a subscription. Which is why if you use the link, use the link in the description, though, you can get 7 days free. So I would check it out if you want it. But that is one of the better parts of this is like being able to see
that's cool. Yeah, seeing the line movement. That's a great feature.
It's an awesome feature. Yeah. It's something to consider too. Like, but
what do you think about that though, Josh? The under rebounds for him. You think it's a strong look?
I do. Yeah, I thought about it in game 1, and obviously I'm glad I didn't because he ended with 7. But even when he was starting. So the thing is, 30 minutes, his stuff is so closely tied to Kristaps. If I can't project Kristaps, then I also probably can't project Papa Al. So the way I would be playing him, honestly, is, and I'm not going to for that exact. I think all his stuff is sharp. I would have gone under on the PR. Is the way that I'd be playing him. It's also relying on him making threes. How do I get? Can I get over to the other ones? I don't have any of the stuff I need right now. Oh, here we go with the threes. The points and rebounds is what I was trying to get up. I think this might be it. Yes, thank God. Okay, 15.5. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at as the play because you can get that still really good money if you take the under here. If I put it on the under. You can get that minus 110 on BetMGM. I don't mind adding the points because I think it's so correlated to the threes for him, especially if there is going to be at least one good defensive center on the floor for the Dallas Mavericks. Then I do think it's that. He was guarding PJ Washington most of the time. So that's another thing that would help you out.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was his. Let me go back to matchups real quick. But I think that helps you out on the rebounds more than anything because of where PJ obviously is playing as a spot-up shooter on the floor. I'm going to pull up Al here. That's who he started on, I believe. He actually had him on Derrick Jones Jr. more than PJ. So yeah, okay.
We'll see if you do this now. Now check this out. Now go on player, or no, the other way, and do Luka Doncic.
Go to which one? Offensive?
Just do offensive player near Luka. I believe Al Horford saw him the most. No, I don't know. Let's see. Hold on.
No, it was JB. Yeah. No, they just didn't mind switching him onto him. Like the Celtics clearly. I mean, dude, he was 1 for 8 versus Al. That's crazy.
Yeah, look, he took all those shots versus him. Yeah, exactly.
8 shots versus Al, which should reduce the rebounding opportunities once again, no doubt. No doubt, because if he's guarding Luka all the way out there, where Luka's, 4 of those shots were threes. So that would also help. I do think that's a look. I think the under is a look. I think the fact that it's minus 140 sucks at this point, because this is normal juice of like -1, even minus 120. It would still be a lot more playable for me. But I think that's why I'm off it. Like, all his stuff is pretty it's pretty sharp, the lines that we see for Al Horford. So I think I got to pass on that too, right? Like there's nothing quite
fair enough.
But I mean, if that's your best play for him, that is exactly how I.
No, that's probably going to be an official play. I'm going to push my luck a little bit and wait to see the starting lineup. I'm hoping again that they announce that Horford starts, and then the public is like, "Oh, I want to go over Horford on everything. He's starting," and then I can fade him. That's what I'm hoping right now.
No doubt. Yeah, I don't think that this matters, by the way, Jermaine. Like, I'm not too worried that he's going to be in the lineup. I think they just like what they saw last game. And to be honest, like, KP came at the perfect moment in the game to come in, which was just like, okay, now we got our first substitution. They got their first substitution. So we don't have exactly the same guys on the floor. KP can find even better matchup advantages when they try to switch. So the only thing about Al is if you're going to bet on Al, the rebounds is where I would go. I'm with you on that. I like the under on the PR. I don't necessarily like just the under on the points or the threes, because Deshaun was talking about the threes. Like, Al can hit 2 threes pretty easy. Now it's just going to come down to, is he going to hit 2 of his probably 5 or 6 3-point attempts? Yeah. I don't want to have to bet on that. If he takes 6, okay, 33% of his shots I can deal with, and be like, okay, I'd put my money on that. But I think the threes prop was also juiced down enough.
Threes is solid. I assume out of every single spot up player, they're gonna be more willing for Horford to beat them.
Exactly.
Solid. Yeah.
Minus 120 you can get on DraftKings. I still think it's a good play. It's just, how many threes did he shoot in this last one? This is threes. Yeah. Wait, he only had 40. Where he just played in this other game. Oh, this is with Porzingis. My bad. Okay, so with Porzingis in this last Mavs game. Wait a second. He didn't have. Oh, yeah. He had the 2 threes. Thought I was looking at points for a minute. So 2 for 5. So that's what we're saying. I don't want to have to bank on him going 40%. I think 5 to 6 threes is about what he's going to take. Needing him to make 2 of them is like, it's more of a 50-50 bet than minus 120. Let me put it
that's perfect way of saying 50-50.
Exactly. Yep. So, all right, cool. And Aaron was asking the projection for KP. I kind of put him at 26. Unless they really, really need him. You might have seen him at a few more than the 20 that he played last game for KP. If it wasn't a blowout, maybe he's needed a bit more in the fourth quarter. But no matter what, I think they're still like, we got a game. We're willing to like leave him on the bench for a little bit and not force him to come out. We're up 1-0, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. But I want to talk about Lively real quick. Talk about another big on the other side. He's really interesting, actually, to me, which is, and I'm going to put some stuff down while we're talking about this, by the way. I'm going to put this more stuff on the leans on the bottom line. But now that we've got, here we go. All right, cool. Derek Lively. So not a good showing. Not a good showing by everybody's favorite rookie.
He looked like a rookie.
Looked like a rookie in the playoffs, didn't he? Because the finals, there's levels to this shit, as they say, and the finals is another one, right? That ain't even the conference finals. And to be honest, like, shit, I mean, Rudy was not a matchup for this dude, and everybody else that's on this team, like KP, is just so much more skilled than, it's not even funny, than Rudy Gobert. Like, there's nothing you'd even talk about there. There's no comparison. So, like, I don't know that it's going to get that much easier for our boy. Free Sauce liked under 6.5 boards. I want to start with the boards. I think that's a look. I'm going to start pulling up his rebound chances and stuff like that. But I'm leaning towards the unders on the boards more than anything else. If I was going to take an under on him, do you think he's capable of a bounce back game, or is this some rookie stuff here?
I mean, I think he's going to see more minutes because he really he really was like shit out of luck in the second half with all those fouls. Jaylen Brown was just so aggressive, drew, foul after foul in the third quarter.
Yep.
So I think he's going to see more minutes. However, he's just going to be using a lot of his energy on defense, just on Kristaps and on drives, with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, where it's going to affect his not only getting good rebounds chances, but also like his offensive game,
Right. Yes, I do 100%. And that's everything just sort of affected everything, to be honest with you. So 8 rebound chances in this game. What was it? It was 18 and a half minutes.
Yeah, he played 19 minutes. Like, let's say he plays 24, right? Like
you could even guess, you could even put him at 26 if you want. I'm still 24 to 26 is fair. So let's put him in here for a minute and start doing some of that stuff. I
actually, if we're on the same topic, I wouldn't even mind putting in the rebounds and assists. The assists, again, they come from when he's setting that pick and roll and he's on that short roll, and then Luka's giving it to him, and then Derek Lively's kind of making that decision, the top of the key, whether he passes it in or to a 3. What does it look like if you do rebounds and assists?
Whew.
Oh fuck, I don't like
but
that.
These are.
I don't even look at that though. Yeah, I mean I don't really look at the hit rate. It's a different series,
It's a different series.
Yeah. Timberwolves, you had to guard Gobert. Like OKC, you were on Giddey, so you were able to roam.
Yep. Yeah, there's no roaming now, man. You got to stick to. There's 40% shooters on the floor.
Yeah, you have to contest for sure. Kristaps, like you got to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, but doesn't that pull him away? So in this
exactly, and then it pulls him away from the basket. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. So let me take the minutes off for a minute. So 6 RA in this game. He had 1 shot that he took. Jesus, Lord Almighty. 7.5 rebounds and assists.
I don't want to overreact. Yeah, you don't want to overreact too much.
Yeah, I know. 1 shot. They lowered this stuff a ton. Like they don't know what to do because he's a rookie as well, right? This was 8.5 points. This was 8.5. It was 7.5 rebounds as well. I know because I tried to take it at the very end there, and that bit me in the ass. But I really wanted a piece of of his props in the last game because I thought he was destined for another good outing, or at least a ton more minutes. I think the 8 minutes that he didn't play, because I do think he's good for 26. I think they want to play him 26. They want to play.
Yeah, they have to have him
they basically want to play Gafford like 15 minutes at this point, and they want Maxey out there for about 18 to 20. I think that's how they want to play their big lineups, with some Maxey out there with Lively and Gafford at times. But I think if you're taking Gafford, you're fading him. I just don't. I think we need one more game, to be honest, where he doesn't get 5 fouls in a freaking quarter. What did he do in the first half? Because he got all his, he got all his fouls in the third quarter, which is
exactly. That was when Jaylen Brown was aggressive.
So what did he do in the first half then? That was different. He didn't even take a shot. He only played 7:48. I mean, this right here, he didn't even lose minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. He lost minutes because
let's check out the popcorn machine. What happened there?
So in the first half, Lively's first minutes came for a stint in the first for 5 minutes, right? He came in for Gafford, and he came out, looks like probably for Gafford again. Or they left Maxey in there. Yeah, for Gafford, basically. Right.
Yeah, Kleber kind of stole some of his minutes.
So Kleber stole his minutes there. Kleber's still in minutes everywhere, right? Like, and Kleber probably would have played more in the fourth quarter if it wasn't a blowout too. Like he was in there for the fourth as like maybe we can make a run early in the fourth, and then they didn't. And then they were like, all right, screw it. And they took him out too. So yeah, dude, I think Lively actually is not someone that I'm like just too ready to just blindly fade. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he gets a few more minutes. I think here's the final thought that I have. Gafford right here, this amount of minutes he played in the first quarter. So this is 219. This is about 4 minutes. So he played half the first quarter, more than half the first quarter. I don't think that's happening again. I don't know how much longer he's going to start. We don't have a lineup yet for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a reality, right, where Gafford could play 12 minutes and that's it,
Yeah, exactly. So I think
it's just kind of Kleber. You want to roll with Kleber and Lively, both guys that are a little bit more mobile, can defend and are switchable.
100%.
Gafford isn't so switchable.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to fade Derek Lively right now. So I'm gonna make that clear. I think you're on the same page here, where it's like there's a bit unknown that could regress.
You can't really fade him because the book's kind of overreacted too much to it, and you want to take the under, but it's already kind of low. So
yeah, I want to take the over now because of that. To be honest with you,
Pritchard vibes.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good on that. Also, never realized that Daniel Gafford, known as D-Gaff, would be "Don't give a fuck," which is kind of tight. That his name would be that. At first, I thought the Juice was being like, "I don't give a fuck." He's played 20 minutes. I understand what you're saying.
It's funny.
All right. D-Gaff 20 minutes max for sure is where I'm at with, or as Mike calls him, Gagford. So Lively for me is actually a lean more to the over at this point because his shit got juiced down so much, but it's another sort of stay away. Things that I feel confident about, like I like PJ Washington to keep scoring. I like Luka to keep scoring and not diming. I don't think that changes. I like Luka and Jay Tatum to keep getting their boards. And I like fading Gafford when his stuff's too high. So those, and okay, it's been too long now. Let's talk about the best ball handler in the history of the NBA, if you want to call him that. Actually, I wasn't even sarcastic. I was talking about Kyrie. That's so funny that you're like, oh, are we talking shit on Jaylen Brown's handles right now?
Kyrie, what are we thinking about him? I am staying away. I don't know what to do with him.
I hit the over. I did.
You like the over? No, that's where I would go if I played it, but I'm not touching it.
Yep. So I'm just gonna pull up my notes and read them real quick. Here's an interesting. And look, I don't want to be overreactive to what I call the Anthony Davis sort of pattern, which is over under, because no one did that this season like Anthony Davis. If you look at his individual game logs, it's like insane. But Kyrie be doing that because of these random games that he has that he sucks. So look at his last 7 games, just as a sample size: 22 followed by 30. Followed by 20, followed by 33, followed by 16, followed by 36, followed by 12 in this last game. So it goes 20 or less, 30, 20 or less, 30, 20 or less, 30, 20 or less, 30. It's a pattern. And it's something that we've seen with him too, where my favorite part of all of it. In the games following Kyrie scoring 20 points or fewer in this postseason, which has now been, and I'm going to pull him back up, it's been like half the games that he's hit 20 or fewer points. The next game, not only does he average 3 more points per game, he averages 3.3 made 3-pointers per game.
Okay.
That's what I really like, right? He was 0 for 5 from 3 in this last game, and he was open on a good amount of those. 11.
Can you see if they were pull-ups or were they catch and shoot? If it's pull-ups, that actually would mean that, okay, maybe he can regress.
I'm going to have to go to players tracking, catch and shoot. And I'm going to go to last game. There we go. All right. And I'm going to filter this to the Dallas Mavericks. All right. Sooner or later, this is going to look so archaic to us that we have to do things this way. But for now, it is what it is. Field goal attempts on the catch and shoot for Kyrie actually were not. It was 2 of them on the catch and shoot. So that means 17 shots that were either drives or pull-ups for himself, right? And in fact, I can just go to pull-up right here in the last game.
So you're going with Kyrie over, okay.
Yeah, so my Kyrie over is really predicated on I don't see him taking less than 19 shots again. And I just straight up don't see him not scoring that many. So 12 shots that were 10 shots that were from here, 2 shots that were catch and shoot, 7 shots that were drives to the rim, essentially.
Yeah, no, he needs to step up. The thing that a little concerns me is that Boston has 2 very good, similar to like how Darius Garland struggled, right? Like the second player to Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Jrue Holiday is a menace on defense.
First team defense.
And Derek White is too. Yeah, so that was the only concerning part. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Dallas has a little bit more. They have way more possessions than they had in Game 1, so that can help Kyrie have more field goal attempts. Yeah. And like, he missed 4 minutes in the end of the game because it was a blowout. He'll play 4 more minutes than what he saw last game, so that can help as well.
Right, exactly. So you do give him a few more minutes. I am going to scarily just show us some of his shots real quick. So these are all the shots on Jrue Holiday.
He should have made that.
Okay, he made it.
Good. Can you show all the shots? Actually, let's do that. I want to see every single shot.
Yeah, you can look at all of them. This is specifically with Jrue guarding him. I can pull up the ones. That's a tough shot.
Yeah. See, like
That's a really tough shot. Yeah, that doesn't help my case at all. This is going to be a driving floater. I think he scores on that one. Yep. So going to the bucket was good. I mean, Drew's
and this was in the
nasty,
only third quarter. I remember that. Like he was like aggressive in the third.
right. This is when they started to make their comeback. And even these shots that didn't go in, he's still at
Like
least
that
like
should have won.
aggressive on it.
That should have
Yeah.
won, and I feel like
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So I think the main takeaway here is like, and this gets blocked by Jaylen Brown. This was nasty, actually. Get the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown blocks, yeah.
Dude. I mean, I just want to what I'm showing here is he's going to get through one first all-team defender. He's got Al over there, and then Jaylen Brown, another second-team all-defenders, also waiting for him. Like, it's not fair with this Boston team. They're pretty nasty, bro. Those Drew Holiday shots not as makeable. The other ones for Kyrie that came with the other guys on him, there was a lot more makeable shots from other guys guarding him. But at least you guys should all know, like if you click on these little hyperlinks for the field goal attempts or whatever on the number, you can go ahead and look at the actual shot and all that. So, all right, I got roughly 5 minutes. So, but rather than go to anything else specific, where are you at with anything else you might want to look at? If there's anything that's come up for you since we started here, and no pressure because I can go to
So we didn't talk about Drew Holiday and Derek White yet.
Okay. It's a good tandem conversation.
I kind of lean the under on Amber. How I was saying this kind of correlates with my theory that they bait. I keep saying the word bait, but they want to make Jayson Tatum more of an ISO heavy player.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, that's going to mean that they're going to take away the spot up shooters. So maybe I'm kind of thinking Derek White or Drew Holiday under. One of those guys is going to go under.
On their points.
Yeah, like I said, they benefited from those like where Tatum was just driving to the rim and he just passed it out to the 3-point. So
right.
Looking into that.
I prefer an under. Like the thing about Drew was, if we talk about him specifically, he wasn't really looking for the basket, which almost did me dirty on a number of 3-point props that I took for him over 1.5.
Yeah.
I think it's still at that number. It's actually gone down. It's better juice now. It was like minus 170, 180 last game. The fact that you can get minus 145 for Drew on 2 threes is now pretty good. But the thing that scares you is the 5 attempts. And the reason I even took Drew threes in the first place was because of him shooting from the corners. You can see 20%, of his shots. And this isn't even the whole season. Let's just do like 80 games, whatever. But on the season, it's still 20% of his shots. This is full season data, my bad. 20% from the corners, as you can see right here. And this is like the third worst defense in the corners combined, right, from both of them. So that's why I still like him to probably keep hitting 2 threes, even if he's only taking 5 or 6 of them. I think that he's still going to get very high percentage corner shots. But I can't bring myself to take any kind of overs when he's not even looking at the basket at this point. Like I think
Holiday or Derek White. Like the thing is, like you and I both agree that Gafford is going to see his minutes are going to shrink going forward.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, they're going to be adding more defensive players that are able to be more switch heavy, able to be more aggressive and attentive to contesting threes than Gafford is, right?
Right.
Like a Kleber or a Derek Lively. I mean, he's capable of doing it, but
but not that great. Yeah. You're right. Like Gafford is just going to be someone who gets put in a blender if he's in there for too long eventually. And Kleber is showing, even Tim Hardaway Jr., by the way, has shown that he might be getting.
You know what I'd be interested in seeing, actually? Would you mind pulling up the advanced box score, like where you can kind of separate by like quarters? Or what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Hardaway. They have this props out? That's so interesting.
1.5 points.
Okay, that's weird.
You hate it?
I don't know. I think that's more of like if they're really down a lot, they're gonna put them in.
Use your word. Are we being baited? Like honestly, are they trying?
No, I think with that, no. Like I think they only use Tim Hardaway Jr. for 2 situations. One, they're down by like 15, 20 points. They need his shooting. Or 2, it's garbage time. I think there's only 2 situations where he's going to be in the game.
Okay. All right. That's fair. In this last one, he played 8 minutes. Okay. Never mind. My bad. That was garbage time. You're right. All right.
Yeah, no, So do me a favor. So can you check out because the first quarter was when Gafford played like his most minutes, right?
Exactly. Yep.
I want to see which Celtics player scored the most points because I think it was Derek White.
In the first quarter?
Kristaps went crazy. Yeah, I mean, Derek White.
But D. White scored before Kristaps got in, too. You're right.
Yeah, so like I feel like a lot of his shots were a product of like them spreading the ball around, getting that open look because maybe that was one of the sides where Gafford just like wasn't near a 3-point shooter,
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So D White is benefiting from, because if you're the spot up guy, you're going to benefit from the imbalance in the defense once the ball gets passed around to you. And that would be the Bucks that kind of stops with Drew and with Derek White. Right. So that does make a ton of sense.
Yeah. It correlates with me thinking that Tatum's going to have a good game.
Yep. Okay. So Carlos is saying, was talking about Derek White and the over on his PA, which is fine because I did pull it up and notice it, but I kind of wanted to try to explain it real quick. Actually,
go for it. Yeah.
So if we have D White up here on the PA, right? So it's the points and assists that he's talking about. Let's first of all realize that we need to put Kristaps in here. Because if you just look at playoffs, right? So he's gone over 10 of 15. Actually, so 2 of his unders were with Kristaps, and then 3 were not with him against the Cavs when he just started shooting like crap, and then picked it back up with his shooting, right? And he's relying on these threes because we've got 3 for 8, 2 for 9. He's got to hit 2 threes. That's for damn sure if he's going to get any of these.
Yeah. Numbers. So what I would do for this is for sure, like making sure that I'm filtering in games with Kristaps, making sure that I'm taking out the outlier games where he hits more than 5 threes.
Yep. Let's just do the regular season in general too here because Chris has played. Actually, that's not even doing it.
Do that and also like throw in Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right?
Oh shit! Yeah, hold on, wait. Oh yeah. Oh my god, this is brutal. This is what happens when all my machines stop working. All right, cool. I'm not even on my normal computer here. All right, 100. Now I've got him in there. So let's do the outlier games like you were saying. So how would you do that?
So what I would do is I want to see what the books are setting his lines at. Like, what's his 3-point line at?
It is at 2.5, probably. Yeah, 2.5 juice way to the over.
Okay, so let's take out all the games where he had more than 4 threes.
Okay.
So I would do I would do 1 to 3 3-pointers made. I actually do 2 to 3. Those games.
Yep. 2 to 3 threes made, and you want me to do this for points and assists though?
Yeah.
Let's make this points and assists. We've got Kristaps in 2 to 3 threes made, 9 for 22 on the hit rate.
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. It is minus 104 for the over. How is Dallas at defending the 3? They're like not that. They're middle of the pack. Basically, and
it all depends on it. It depends if they want to play man to man or if they want to play zone. That's going to be the thing that I'm curious to see. Maybe it's more so like a wait and see than actually like fire.
Yeah, I'm. Oh shoot, this keeps freezing. Yeah. Damn, I hate. We gotta coordinate to not match shirts next time. Never thought we'd have to do that. It's usually
I'll text you 10 minutes before, making sure you're not wearing a white shirt, right?
Yeah, right. Like we were some, and honestly, last week's shirt or last game's shirts were like kind of unique. They had like the patterns all over. We still wore the same.
That's what's cool. Sorry, this says Cali vibes.
Yeah, that's way cooler. Mine's a fucking black tee, like I'm trying to go to the club or something. Black V-neck. Let's see. Yeah. So I like Top Dunk's point too. If Kyrie's scoring, Drew's going to have a hard time getting his points or rebounds. I think Drew is out there to play defense is the main point.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Rebounds,
I would say rebounds. If Kyrie is scoring, that means that Drew is going to be on him. And if he's making his shots, then you can't grab the rebounds.
Agreed. I think it's under PRA if you're playing the Drew stuff, or even, like under PRA or under PR even.
What's that looking like?
PR is 18.5. That's too many boards, isn't it?
Oh shit, minus 140. Dang. Is it better? Are there better odds?
So he had 8 boards last game. That's true. Yeah, it was actually the assist that I originally, and this is with KP. Are there better odds than this?
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, no, they are taking that. That was a lot of rebounds. What was his rebound chances in this last game? Just going back to the game log real quick. For player tracking for Drew, it was 14 rebound chances. And he was guarding Kyrie the whole time. The thing too is like if you're guarding Kyrie and Luka's got the ball up top, Kyrie's really just like a very last option. So you can kind of sag off of him, to be honest.
No, but look, this just proves my point. Actually, it doesn't make any sense. I was going to say Kristaps says 1.4 distance Like, do you see where it says that? I just think that's just because on defense he's just staying in one spot on Rome.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like
this is the average distance.
You're not asking him to like move around too much.
Yeah. This is the average. No, it's not even the distance of the rebound. It's probably distance of moving. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I mean, for D White, I think like if he's liable to hit those threes, if he hits 3 threes, which is what they're saying, I think he's going to hit with the implied probability of the over 2.5. Then I'm scared to fade the points if he's going to get those amount of shots up. That's the problem with those two dudes. It's going to be a lot of 3-pointers. My buddy took under the points and assists for Drew. I will say that. Somebody that I do trust anyway. So it's like,
who's that? What's his name?
My buddy on the other show, thelines.com. His name's Nate. But yeah, okay. I mean, he's had some good looks. I do trust him on that one. I'm not going to touch that. I think the points and assists for D White, I would be careful just taking those hit rates for him. I still am feeling okay about, I took him under 4.8 assists for the series for Derek White. So and he got 5 last game, so he's still right at it. But like he gets 4 in this game, he's at 4.5. So I'm still hitting my bet there. I think he gets less than 5 a game essentially. So I'm willing to.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel so worried. Yeah,
you're good. I'm willing to fade the PA essentially. So keep that in mind. And I do need to dip. Damn, it's 6:30.
I think we covered everyone. I think
we've got most people in here. I'm still on the over for Kyrie. It's a regression thing. I don't think they're going to throw blitzes at him. I wanted to make that clear to everybody because I didn't really finish that bet. Jaylen Brown might not be a bad MVP pick right now. It's plus 320 for Jaylen Brown to win the MVP of this thing. I would say if it ended right now after one game, probably take him. And also a word of caution, please don't assume that Kristaps is going to be the MVP because he came and gave them an emotional lift. It went from 3,500 plus 3,500 for KP to win the MVP down to plus 350 or like 600 or whatever for a little bit. Like, nah, dude, no, that's crazy. You just lost all the juice. It's not worth it anymore. That sort of uplifting thing isn't going to be there for him. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. I know I had some problems at the beginning, so I appreciate you guys coming on. Appreciate you, PB, as well. Want to make sure you guys know the Discord is live for Prop Bomb. Very proud.
Please join. You could, by the way, you should add. I'm going to make it official. Even though it's juicy, I like the under 6.5 rebounds for Horford. So if you want to add that in there.
Putting it in here. And I'm going to have all the bets that we made, both of us here. If you don't mind, are you cool with me putting in the description of the YouTube or the comments of the YouTube video? Or do you want to leave it off? Okay.
No,
all right. We'll talk about it. Because our man here has, are you over 100 right now? You're over 90 units on year to date, right?
99. Going for 100. Yeah. Going for 100.
Going for 100. He's got 99 problems. Units is not one of them. I'm going to put, we said Al Horford under 6 rebounds, right?
Yeah, under 6.5. Yeah,
under 6.5. Yeah, under 6.5.
So I have under 6.5. Al. Number 2 is PJ Washington over 11.5.
Yep.
And then number 3, it's a 2-leg correlated SGP of Luka to score 25, but then for him to have less than 9 assists.
Hell yeah, that.
Plus 104. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, good stuff. I know we got a lot of bets in there for you guys, so I appreciate it. And I'm actually, if you don't, Prop Bomb is all his stuff is in here as well, so you can check out his Discord. Please join that if you are not part of it yet. I'm getting great looks from you, bro, so I appreciate it. But we'll be back. I'm going to be back here on Tuesday. Also, just a quick word to the wise. I'm going to brag for you. PB's at like 34-2 in the props when he comes on.
No, now you're gonna jinx it. Oh no,
no, dude, we talked about it last time. I've mentioned it multiple times now that it's a science because there's more brains on it. There's more looks to it. It's not just random chance. So I just want to bring that up. There's no jinxing that because this is hard work, baby. Heart and hustle all day. All right, cool. I appreciate you guys. I will be back with a video for the next game as well. We'll be looking at some projection stuff as we go back to Dallas. Then we'll be back here with the live stream as well on Wednesday. Actually, is the next game.
So let me know if I can come on. Yeah, for Game 3.
You let me know if you're able, because you're welcome, my man, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna get we'll be back here on Wednesday. I'll be back home with my home setup rather than all this other nonsense. So appreciate everybody though. Gamble responsibly, all that stuff. I'll be in the Discord leading up to the game if anybody wants to chat in there. PB's always poking around, so if you tag him, he might be able to come in there and say what's up to you. But either way, stay safe and happy betting.
See ya.